Take risks in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide.
The possibility of acquiring or losing anything of value is known as risk. An intentional action, coupled with uncertainty, can also be defined as risk. Taking risks is what life and living is all about, and that is what is scary for you, because you do not know what the outcome will be, good or bad. Not all risks should be taken, especially when the outcome can be predicted, or where it will certainly do harm. Vivekananda is advising you to take risks, as not doing so will see you remaining where you are, and also the potential loss of opportunities and knowledge. When you take risks and they work in your favor, you are now in a better position to forge further ahead and take even more risks. Should a risk not work out, then you are in a good position to guide and help others to better navigate the same path.
He who struggles is better than he who never attempts.
This quote is making it clear that if you don't try, then you are actually worse off. Many of you will hold the belief that it means that you won't fail. But you would have already failed because you never tried. This kind of thinking shows a basic fear you have of the unknown, and also a fear of failure. These fears may stem from childhood messages you picked up from parents, teachers, and others. This kind of behavior also ensures that you do not move from where you are. You will not know what might be if you do not try. It is better if you try and struggle during the process, simply because you will begin to move towards whatever your goal is. Also, you will learn along the way, and as such, gain experience you can use to your benefit later.
Do good because it is good to do good, ask no more.
This quote is talking about the act of being good. It is suggesting to you that you should do good all the time, for no other reason than it's a good thing to do. It is the way you should live toward others in this world. When you do good, a number of things happen, both to you and the person who receives the good. Research has shown that doing good will decrease your stress, increase your life expectancy, make you feel better, and also makes you happier at work. The act also promotes mental health, leads to greater happiness, and will motivate you to do good again. So do good for goodness sake.
In a conflict between the heart and the brain, follow your heart.
When facing a decision, chances are, your brain is telling you to do one thing, and your heart is saying do another. It becomes even more difficult when both are at polar opposites. Vivekananda is suggesting that when there is a conflict, you should go with your heart. When you follow your head, you are engaging your self-awareness. You then begin to weigh the pros and cons of the situation. This is normally a decision that is quick or impulsive. You tend to feel that at the end of it, things will work out favorably for you. When you follow your heart, you are going with how you feel and your intuition. You are less sure about the outcome, but you know you must act, because if you don't, you will have great regret. So when you follow your heart, you are likely to live a more satisfying life.
Dare to be free, dare to go as far as your thought leads, and dare to carry that out in your life.
In life, many of you find it difficult to see things as being better than they are right now. You act out of fear, and as such, are afraid to dare. You have become so comfortable with, or paralyzed by, the negative thing you believe will happen. You may also believe that you are not capable of achieving what you want. To dare is all about taking a risk, it is about facing a challenge, it's also about having belief in yourself. So this quote challenges you to dare, to dream big, to take chances, to get out of your comfort zone, to be free and be yourself. Once you have begun daring yourself, and dreaming of the possibilities, move it to the rest of your life. You start with something small, and build on it afterwards.
Do not lower your goals to the level of your abilities. Instead, raise your abilities to the height of your goals.
In this quote, Vivekananda's words are relevant today, as the day they were uttered. How many of you have lowered your goal, simply because you felt your abilities were lacking, or woefully inadequate? The problem with doing that is you never achieve the goals you set for yourself, and you also never improve or increase your abilities. As such, you learn to accept lesser and unwanted goals, which end up making you feel unsatisfied, if not a failure. On the other hand, when you raise your abilities to match your goals, what you are doing is learning new skills, finding out new information, and doing a lot of analysis. When you do that, you will have a greater chance of achieving your goals.
We are what our thoughts have made us, so take care about what you think. Words are secondary. Thoughts live, they travel far.
Your thoughts are what defines you. Your thoughts take shape long before any word is spoken. Your thoughts are the force that drives you, your good, your bad, your beginning, and your end. Such is the magnitude of your thoughts, and they will live on after you do, and immortalize you, especially when they are known by others. Revolutions, protests, wars, and any change have their birth in your thoughts. You are limited through your thoughts, and are expanded through them. Words are simply thoughts defined from a certain perspective. They are thoughts put out into the world. They are written, sung, and said. Words have power. Yet, the power of words does not compare to that of a thought. A thought by itself can mean a number of things all at once, but words cannot. Words are dependent on your thoughts, and as such are guided by it.
Do one thing at a time, and while doing it, put your whole soul into it, to the exclusion of all else.
Doing more than one thing at a time in today's world has become the norm for many of you. But when you do this, however, you are not actually doing two things at the same time. What you are really doing in most instances is task switching, which is doing individual actions in quick succession. Studies have shown that doing more than one thing at a time is inefficient, and actually takes more time in the end, and you tend to be more likely to make mistakes, especially when the task is more complex. So Vivekananda is right in this quote. However, when you focus on one thing at a time, your attention is also focused. He advises that you put your whole mind and body into doing that task. In doing so, you will get more done, you will come up with solutions to issues that arise, and you will be more creative.
Truth can be stated in 1,000 different ways, yet each one can be true.
With this quote, you are being challenged to realize that truth can be said in many different ways. Truth has many faces. Truth, strangely enough, stays true depending on the point of view, or the perception of the person experiencing the truth. So you, and someone else, may be looking at the same event, and have two different ideas of the truth, yet both are true. So keep this in mind the next time you are confronted with a truth that others see differently.
You have to grow from the inside out. None can teach you, none can make you spiritual. There is no other teacher but your own soul.
The idea here is for you to understand that your growth has to come from within you. You do not change and grow as a person because of outside forces, because no matter what happens in life, you are the same person. When you grow, you are doing your own introspection, to see and confront who you are, and how you feel about that. You will then decide what you need to do to be your authentic self. Your spirituality is also up to you, and no one else. So what's important to realize here is that you are indeed the author of your life. You make yourself who you are.
Be not afraid of anything. You will do marvelous work. It is fearlessness that brings heaven, even in a moment.
This quote advises you to not fear anything. There are many things that concern many of you in life, and fear is one of the main ones. Vivekananda is encouraging you to develop the courage and be brave when you take the first step to doing the work that needs to be done. You also need to have the faith that you will do great work. You have to feel the fear if you have to, and do what you need to anyway. Only when you are fearless will you reap the rewards of your work.
Desire, ignorance, and inequality, this is the trinity of bondage.
The three main elements of bondage are pointed out in this quote. These elements bind you to a kind of mental prison, which in effect prevents you from growing as a person. You are being asked to be mindful of this trinity of bondage, and try not to be caught up in it. Desire is an intense feeling when you want to have something, or that wish for something to occur. If your desire is not fulfilled, you are likely to hold on to it, believing it must happen, and in a manner you choose. But life is not like this. Ignorance is the lack of information or knowledge. When you are ignorant, you're at a disadvantage, because you will be making decisions about life, events, and people from that perspective. It's especially problematic when you believe that you have all the information you need. Ignorance is the cause of many problems in your life and the world. Inequality is an unfair situation where some people have better opportunities or more rights than others. This will lead to discontent among certain sections of society, which in turn tends to lead to unrest. All of these elements keep you in bondage. You are advised to live your life doing the opposite of these.